Welcome to the YouTube channel of me, Ken Scott, ghostwriter, author, and of course writing coach. You can find me on Facebook and of course Twitter. You can also get me at my website, which is kentheghost.com, and the email address will follow later on in this video. In the previous Key Stages video, we covered the fact that you need to have a good story, or rather not a good story, a great story. We don't want anything boring. We also covered deadlines and targets, how you need to work on one chapter a week, how you need to write when you feel like it, and of course the discipline that goes with it. You may recall from the previous video that I believe there are 8 key stages to start and finish a book, get a book to a situation or to a stage where it will appeal to a publisher. So today I want to talk about another 2 key stages, 2 essential things that you have to put into practice if you want to finish that book. First and foremost, you need to stop watching television. There, I've said it. Television is the biggest waste of time since religion. It is as simple as that. Now, I'm not talking about an odd football match, of course I'm not. I'm not talking about 5 minutes news in the morning. I'm not talking about that either. I would also say that watching an occasional movie is very, very, very good for the writing. I'm talking about general television, in particular things like soap operas. Soap operas and series and things like that. This is what I'm talking about, soap operas. Who on earth invented soap operas? Listen, you are not going to finish your book if you are into soap operas. It is as simple as that. The crap, the acting's absolutely rubbish. There's no end to them. They droll on and on and on, and there's about 56 million of them available to you every single week. You can't possibly watch soap operas and finish a book. Forget it. I know of a friend in the UK who records all her favourite soap operas on a weekly basis, and on a Wednesday afternoon when she's off work, she sits down at 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 in the afternoon and she watches every single one of them. She sits down in front of a television screen for 468 hours a year. If she lives another 40 years, that's 18,720 hours watching soap operas. Can you imagine how many books you can write in that time? So you can hear what I'm saying. A couple of movies a week on Netflix or whatever, a couple of football matches, and that's it. But on the whole, you have to sacrifice something, and the biggest thing to give up, to sacrifice, without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest waste of time is television. Bin the television. It's as simple as that. So we'll have a story, a great story. We've given ourselves a couple of deadlines or a target. We've assigned a chapter a week. That's what we're going to go for. That is the aim of finishing a book. I've already alluded to the fact that you need to write when you feel like writing, but also you need to have a little bit of discipline too. We've binned the television and we're ready to begin. So then what? I'm often asked this question at Writers Group if I give a presentation or two. Then what? We've got everything sorted, we're organised, we've got our toolkit, whether it be a computer, whether it be a normal notebook and a pen, we'll have it. The next thing that always gets asked at these type of presentations is, where do you write? Where is that writing zone? That's what I call it. It's a writing zone. It's a place where you have to be very, very comfortable. And I have to tell you, everybody is different. Everybody will find their own little area that they like to work from or work in. There are a few golden rules, of course. Golden rule number 1 is no television. Even if the television is switched off, it's a temptation to turn it on. You might get to a stage where you go through a little bit writer's block, and without even thinking about it, you say to yourself, well, I'll put the television on for 5 minutes and it might spring an idea into my head. Absolute bollocks. It's not going to happen. You have to have a writing zone, an area that is television free. Because if not, you'll find that you'll go and switch it on. Something like Jeremy Kyle will be on, which is very addictive because everybody loves watching cretins, and before you know it, within an hour you've watched 2 shitty Jeremy Kyle shows and you've wasted another hour of your life, your book writing time. My writing zone is television free and it's also telephone free. I switch my mobile off whenever I'm writing because the worst thing in the world is to get right into the writing zone and somebody calls up that you haven't heard from a long time, and you have a lovely half an hour conversation with them and then you're back to square one again. Most people have a study in their home these days, an office or a computer room. Make that your own zone. Make it your special place. Put in what you like, what inspires you. Take out there what doesn't inspire you or what is likely to distract you. Everybody's different, but make that room something there that you want to go into, that you actually look forward to going into. And if you make that room like that, then it will be somewhere that you want to go, and it will be somewhere where the words will start to flow. Make it special, make it nice, want to go in there. The secret to the writing zone or the writing room is that there's no real secret. It really is what floats your boat, what rocks you, what makes you want to start writing and opening up the laptop. I'm working with a girl in the UK at the moment. She takes half a bottle of Prosecco into her room, her study, her writing zone 3 nights a week. That's her discipline. And she finds that 1 or 2 glasses of Prosecco helps the words flow. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It was one great writer who coined the phrase alcohol, because no great book ever started with a green salad. And I can relate to that because occasionally a glass of wine or a glass of Prosecco does help those words flow. So whether you like loud rock music when you write, or whether you like peace and quiet, it really doesn't matter. It's what actually gets those words onto the pages or onto the screen. I'm a very fortunate writer that I can write anywhere. I have several zones, several writing zones. I can get up in the morning and do 2 or 3 hours on the terrace overlooking the Mediterranean. That's very nice, but occasionally that gets a little bit stale, or I feel my writing's getting a little bit stale, so I pick up my laptop and I head to the local cafe or the local bar. If it's around about dinner time, I might take a glass of wine. The idea is that you have to love your writing, you have to enjoy it. And if you start the book, if you start and get into chapter 1, chapter 2, and you're not enjoying it, you either haven't found the right zone, or I'm afraid to tell you, you ain't going to become a writer. So that's the end of Key Stage 2. In Key Stage 1, we covered the fact that you need to have a good story or a great story. We touched on deadlines and then targets, and I'm urging you to start writing, or try and write a chapter a week. Write when you feel like it, but it's important that you also have that discipline. In this particular module, we've covered the no TV rule, which is very, very important, and we've also touched on what makes a good writing zone. And as I say, the secret is that there's no secret. So if this module has pressed you or urged you to start the book, then I'm very pleased about that. You'll find my email flashing across the screen now. If you want to drop me a line and tell me how you're getting on, by all means do so. If you want to drop me a line and ask for some assistance, then that will be even better. If you want to read one of my books, then you'll find them all on Amazon, or as they say, at a great bookshop near you. And I would be truly honoured if you picked one up, read it, and then drop me an Amazon review, or even just a line to myself. Many thanks for watching. Next Key Stage will be coming, Key Stage 3, very, very soon.